Welcome to Your Lot and Parcel podcast with your host, Benjamin Diaz, designed strictly for you, the consumer. You will find that this platform has your best interests at heart.
This is Benjamin Diaz. Thank you for joining our show today. In this episode, you will learn that the U.S. Department of Agriculture is providing 100% financing for low to moderate income earners in rural areas across the country. In fact, it might be a good fit for you. Come along with me and let's visit with our guest. He is the Director of Community Relations for the Coachella Valley Housing Coalition. Let's meet Javier H. Lopez. Javier, thank you for being on our show here this afternoon, taking time from your schedule. And I'm really excited about hearing about your story. And of course, that's the coalition. Let me start over. the Coachella Valley Housing Coalition. So tell us about your organization and what was the impetus or the motivation of this organization?
Sure. And first of all, thank you, Benjamin, for allowing me to be on your show and hopefully inform and educate a lot of our public, our listening audience on what CVHC or the Coachella Valley Housing Coalition is all about. CVHC is a nonprofit developer of affordable housing. It was founded back in 1982 by local visionaries in the city of Coachella who wanted to provide better housing for the local farm worker community. They were seeing a lot of farm workers working out of makeshift homes, cardboards, out of their cars, which unfortunately we still see a lot of that going on today. But at that point of time, it was even worse. So that's how CVHC came about. And since 1982, it's become the go-to developer, so to speak, here in the area for affordable housing, and we've included housing for seniors, veterans, low-income families, et cetera, et cetera. So that was pretty much the original motivation, and the organization has done a lot more since, of course, and you know, in a sense, we're still on the verge of building even more housing for other folks.
Good.
As we all know, market rate housing is out of the reach for many working families. So we want to make sure we're bringing the American dream of home ownership to a lot of our working families and individuals.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. You know, what governmental agency regulates or oversees these programs?
Well, basically, we have two types of programs. We have single family development, which are houses, obviously, and then we have our multifamily development department as well, which constructs apartment complexes. Mm-hmm. So with a single family home, that's developed through what is called the Mutual Self-Help Program, which is a federal program under the United States Department of Agriculture, where families who are eligible in lieu of a financial down payment, they put in the sweat equity, certain number of hours to help build their homes. You know, so these people are not getting, any freebies, so to speak. They're not getting a free ride. They're working during the day and then putting hours after work or on the weekends or on their days off by helping to build their own homes under supervision of our site supervisors. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
So there's a mutual assistance. I mean, other families pitch in as well? Or?
Correct. Usually these developments, these houses are constructed by a group of families, usually anywhere from 10 to 13 families that are working together on their homes, helping each other, building that camaraderie, understanding that they're developing their future neighborhoods together, so to speak. Their children are going to grow up and attend the local schools.
Yes.
So, and in a sense, they're also, starting their own neighborhood watch programs because, they're working together as families, and nobody gets their house until they're all completed. So it's not like one family is done and then the next 9, for example, are on their own. So everybody finishes together and gets their keys, and then we move on to the next group. So right now we're constructing in the city of Imperial, in the county of Imperial, and in the city of Desert Hot Springs.
Mm-hmm.
here in Riverside County.
Okay,
So it's a
good.
very good program. We want to continue that. We're hoping that obviously the federal government continues to assist organizations as ours in continuing to help other families in the
Yes.
future. Hmm.
Very good. You know, the USDA, obviously that's a federal agency.
Hmm.
So conceivably, then, Javier, conceivably, let's say somebody in Florida can probably call into their local office or USDA office and find out what might be available for them. Is that correct?
Yeah, that would be possible. I'm not sure if it's available in every single state. I mean, there's
Yes.
folks here in California that haven't heard
Mhm.
of the mutual self-help program.
Yes.
I've been to conferences up in San Francisco and Sacramento, and not everyone is aware, but I'm sure they would
Yes.
get a better answer if they call directly to HUD or their local HUD
Hmm.
office and inquire about those because it's a very good program.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
You know, of course, mortgages are what within my purview, and USDA loans. Of course, they're available across the country, but not within metropolitan areas. I understand. County, I guess. More than likely, you will find that these homes or property would be eligible for these programs. But again, you know, it's not out in the boondocks. I mean, it's just right outside sometimes the city limits that you're able to, where the property does qualify. And speaking of such, how does these folks here that build their homes, how do they qualify for this
Yeah, well, they hear
program?
through about us through our
Yeah,
obviously our marketing efforts. We're out there in the community. We're making presentations. We're on social media. We'll talk about
yes,
that in a few minutes. But basically, they'll call in, for example, and we ask them because we have a long waiting list. I mean, it's in the
mm,
thousands. Um, because obviously affordable how everybody thinks, well, you're building, well, I want a house in this city. Well, we might not have lots available in that city at that time, so we
yes,
let them know where we are building, and depending on their interests, they would get on a waiting list, and then in the meantime we'll check their credit score. If their credit is low, we do offer credit repair classes and
mm-hmm,
credit counseling, one-on-one appointments. So we work with the families, and even
mm-hmm,
we might have a family who might not be eligible based on their credit scores. So we don't tell them, we don't give them no as an answer. We'll just give them, not now. So
yes,
that doesn't mean that in the future we can help them because we will sign them up for credit counseling and
okay,
so on.
sure,
Once a project does become available in the area, we'll mail them or give them a call to come in the office and complete the paperwork, the applications, and then
mm-hmm,
again, we'll be looking at their income, their debt
mm-hmm,
information, and so on.
yes,
So we want families that are working, obviously, and then based on certain criteria, their credit scores,
right,
we'll get them going once the
very good.
uh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, very good. No, I understand. Many times, well, it's up to the lender.
Right.
They call them overlays, but typically about a mid score of 640 is what they need to have, from what I
Yeah, we
gather.
do we do pre-approvals, of
Yeah.
course, and those
Okay.
are submitted to the lenders, as you mentioned. And then once
Yes.
that is determined, then we'll give them a call, and then we'll have a orientation,
Right.
with the families that are going to be. They'll get to know who their site supervisor is going to be, what they're going to be required to do, how many hours they're going to need to commit to.
Mhm.
So it could be a lengthy process, but if everything's in place,
Yes.
it becomes a lot quicker. So it's good.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Very good. I know the USDA loan, on balance, it's a better loan than an FHA loan, Javier,
Hmm.
because number one, there's less PMI that you have to pay for. That's a private mortgage insurance.
Hmm.
It's 100% financing, and so I think it's a better program actually. But having said that, the folks that are low to moderate income can qualify, and
Mhm.
that's pretty nifty. You know that? That's pretty nifty.
Yeah, it is, and these families become builders.
Oh yeah.
So many folks, a lot of things. A lot of people think it's only for the guys or the dad in the family, but a lot of moms
Yeah.
and single moms who are, you know, also do a lot of their work, and they come out
Mhm.
with marketable skills as well because
There
they,
you
they
go.
learn to set tile, they learn to install an appliance here and there. They're pretty
Yeah.
much doing everything except stucco,
Yeah.
electrical, and plumbing.
There you go. Yeah,
So
those are marketing skills. You know, you can go out and do a startup.
yeah, they
Self
do,
self employed.
including irrigation systems for their front and backyard. So,
There you go. Yeah.
so it's a lot of good things that come out of this.
I think that's a pretty good program, actually. And I grew up on a farm, and I know
Mhm.
exactly what you're talking about. And it's a
Right.
very, very nice program. So, approximately how many homes would you say, since this organization has been active, you folks have
Uh,
built? Do you figure?
Single family homes we've
Yes.
built. We're a little over 2,100 since
Is that right?
inception. And then we're still building. We're
Wow.
working with government entities to see if we can purchase more lots. We're working with the city of Brawley, for example, and in
Mm-hmm.
local cities here in Coachella and Indio, and
Mm-hmm.
so on to try to purchase lots so we can continue this program.
Yeah. Very good.
So
That's by Palm Springs and all that
that's
on the
correct. Yeah, it's in the Palm
yeah.
Springs, Coachella Valley area.
Yes. Very good. So can you speak to the average size of the home that are being built in maybe
Average
some of the
size of a home,
areas?
we're looking anywhere from 1,300 to 1,500 square feet, 3 to 4
Mm-hmm.
bedrooms, 2 baths. So it all depends, obviously, on the location and what incentives we might get from local cities and whatnot. But that's pretty much where we are. The most recent ones we had were in cities of Imperial and Desert Hot Springs, and those were averaging 1,374 square feet and 1,340,
Mm.
respectively. But these are 4 bedroom, 2 bath homes.
Yeah. What would you
Average
say
size.
the value of those homes,
The
market
average uh,
value?
the
Yeah.
average price of a home in Imperial was at
Is that
$191,000.
right? Okay.
Yeah, and Desert Hot Springs at 184, 185,000. So again, very affordable and comfortable
Mm-hmm.
payments here for these families. We want to continue that, but also we have to understand that we work in within economic and political environments.
Mm-hmm.
So, case in point, when the government shuts down, for example, it
Yes.
affects the
Yeah.
program, and we have
Yeah.
families that might end up in limbo, so to speak, and they can't
Yeah.
continue or move forward. So the other thing is, if we have tariff wars with certain countries,
Mm-hmm.
building supplies increase. So now those costs are carried over to the end user, which is pretty unfortunate, but we're doing what we can in terms of being out there and aggressively informing local and regional elected officials as well as state and federal on the importance of
Yeah.
affordable housing, because everybody has this mentality that affordable housing attracts the low lives or the bad element,
Right. Right.
and so on, when in reality it's for working families that are,
Absolutely.
yeah, that play by the rules, pay their taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and just want to have a roof over their heads for their children
Sure.
to
Sure.
succeed in school.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Very hardworking, blue collar. I would call it
Mhm.
blue collar. And you know what? I can see where if they're all pitching in, I mean, they have a vested interest in making sure they take care of the community, the homes, and as you said, a neighborhood watch and all that. I can
Right.
see that. I can see that. We're having a conversation with Javier H. Lopez, the Director of Community Relations for the Coachella Valley Housing Coalition, and he is relating his story. As far as income, I'm sure there's on the website, the USDA website, there's a income scale, I'm sure, right? And how many within
Right.
the family, and what the income limit is and so forth. I
Mhm.
understand you can go up to 100, well, depending on the geographical area there as to um, average median income. You can go up to 115%, I guess. I understand. Um,
Yeah, it's all based on the AMIs, as you well mentioned.
Yes.
So it would depend on family size and income and so on.
Hmm.
So all those factors are taken into
Yeah.
consideration.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand. Well, let's for an example. Let me see if I went to the right little country school here. Let's say the area requires the average. Let's say the average income for the area that's 50,000. So if you can go 115%, then your ceiling would be 57,500 income for the family. So that's pretty good
Mhm.
actually. There's many that fall into that.
Right. So yeah, we look at all those factors, but
Yeah.
the need
Uh,
is out there. We can't keep up with the demand, of course, as market rate housing continues to go
yes.
through the roof, as you know.
Absolutely.
So
Does does your organization get involved with rehab work?
yes, we do. For both single family and multifamily, we've had some rehab homes. Just recently, a few years back, we had
Yes.
a program called Lease to Own, when the organization purchased a lot of used homes, rehabilitated them, and then rented them out to families with the intent of making those families homeowners. And as a
Mm-hmm.
matter of fact, that was one of those. They
Mm.
came to, yeah,
Oh,
during the 2008 market collapse,
oh yes.
we saw a lot of that. So that was a very successful program. We're looking at something similar maybe in the near future
Mm-hmm.
to continue with some of those.
Okay.
And then same thing with rehab on the multifamily side. We picked up a few units, 12 units of single family development in the city of
Mm-hmm.
Coachella recently. We rehabilitated those. We picked up Fred Young Labor Camp a few years back here in the city of Indio because it was a government camp. Everybody, all the locals still refer to it as El Campo
Right.
because it was a farm worker camp. So
Oh
we're
yes.
raising that. We're building new state-of-the-art multifamily developments known as Villa Hermosa. We have Villa Hermosa 1 and 2 right now. We're in the process of 3 um, to get a lot of those folks that have been in at Fred Young, it was Fred Young um, for
Mm-hmm.
many years
Yeah.
into new energy efficient housing.
There you go. But these
Mhm.
are rental. These are rental
These
units,
are
right?
rental, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Which is a good,
Mhm.
stepping step to the
And then many
ownership.
of our, just so you know, many of our rental tenants
Yeah.
later on, once they get their credit repaired and so on, a lot of them
Hmm.
have applied for single family
There
development
you go.
and
Yeah.
have ended up, or as we call it, graduated into single family home ownership. So, that's a good path for a lot of them to follow as well.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I really enjoy the programs. I did take a look at your website and some really good points there where people can take advantage of the services. Aside from constructing homes and so forth, there, I understand that you also provide a broad range of resident services. Can you expound on that?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, we do. We don't just build beautiful houses and beautiful homes for these folks. We continue working with them by
Hmm.
bringing a pipeline of resident services to their communities, and this will depend on the community as well. Obviously, for example, in
Sure.
our senior developments, we'll bring some. Health and fitness programming, whereas in a farm worker development, we'll bring after school kids clubs, to serve the children there. We'll bring computer literacy programs,
Hmm.
ESL, GED. We have ballet folklorico in some areas. We have mariachi instruction.
Hmm.
Um, of course, a lot of those are right now are currently on hold because of the COVID-19, but
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
continue with those. We also have a scholarship program that we offer to all of our residents to help their children continue and finish their college degrees. That's
Well,
been a very successful program. It was founded back in 2002, and it's named after our founder, John F. Mealy. And over the years, we've added separate scholarships for community services and graduate studies.
hmm.
So
Wow.
we have a lot of great stuff going. We partner with local vendors, including the Desert Recreation District, the local YMCA, the local Boys and Girls Clubs, school districts, the Fine Food Bank, for meal distributions, a lot of the churches as well. And so, yeah, I mean, we don't just, give keys to new homeowners and say goodbye and, congratulations. We really follow them to help them better their quality of life and livelihoods.
Very good. So you get involved socially. I have read studies here that children, when they find themselves in a stable home, where they're not having to get up and move so often, just they feel stable and comfortable, they
Right.
will acquire better grades even.
Yes, good GPAs and stable housing,
Mm-hmm.
they correlate. They go hand in hand, and we're looking also at partnerships, future more stable partnerships with the healthcare industry as well, because that's another thing that helps our folks stay healthy and so on when they're receiving adequate checkups, vital exams, and so on. So and just general information on healthcare. We've gotten grants in the past from the American Cancer Society to do presentations on smoking cessation and the dangers of tobacco use and whatnot. So we look at a lot of things, but yeah, education. We work together with education and our after-school kids clubs. Right now, I have staff developing and distributing STEM kits. The science, technology, engineering, math STEM kits for kids to put small robots together and so on, and not only just keep them busy, but keep them educated. So we do a lot of great stuff, and I keep telling people, we do more than just housing. We really do build communities.
Obviously. I'm really impressed. I did see that STEM robotics. Was that science, technology, engineering, mathematics?
Yes,
Oh
and
my
I think that
goodness.
now they threw in the A for arts, so it's
Uh,
STEAM. So now
boy.
the acronym became STEAM. But yeah, it's all great.
It's a wonderful word, and that I can see that your organization has lots of humanity there. So that's good. It's a good deal to see.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how can we as the public support your efforts in the area where you're in? What would that be? Southern California? I guess that'd be Southern
Yes, we're in
California.
Southern California and Riverside County.
Yes.
I would say about, I don't know, 100 miles east of Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
We're in the Palm Springs, Coachella Valley area, where the famous Coachella Music Festival takes place
Oh
every year.
yes.
So,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, that's where we are, and people can always help us through their general support by logging on to our website at cvhc.org
Mm-hmm.
and looking at what we offer, and then we do have a donation button there that they can utilize, or they can just simply write a check
Mm-hmm.
and mail it to us at the address that's also listed there on our website. We do get a lot of support through local foundations, grantors, individuals, our business supporters, some of the vendors that we've been working with over the years that have been very generous in helping us continue these programs.
Yeah, well, that's very nice, very nice. So let me ask you, can you repeat your website? Give us a phone, and of course you're on
Sure.
social media as well, I'm sure, right?
Sure. Our telephone number here at the office is 760-347-3157.
Okay.
So they can call and inquire more about that. We are currently closed to the public, but we're open for business. So,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, our website is www.cvhc.org.
Mm-hmm.
We are also on Instagram. The handle there is CV Housing Coalition, so you can just look
Okay.
for us there.
All right.
Facebook, Coachella Valley Housing Coalition as well, and also on Twitter at CV_housing. So
Good.
we also do a lot of that. We work with local elected officials, state officials, federal officials to make sure
Mm-hmm.
we're advocating for adequate legislation that supports affordable housing and tax credits to continue building a lot
There
of
you go.
what we do and a lot of these beautiful apartments and houses that we're building.
Oh yes. Okay. Sounds good. I really appreciate the time you've spent with us, and that encourages our listenership to look into what's available in their locality as well, and of course to think about the work you're doing, your organization, and see how we can support that as well. And again, I thank you for being with us, Javier.
Well, thank you, Benjamin. Once again, this is a very great opportunity, and we jump on these such opportunities
Yep.
because we want to continue telling our story and telling about
Absolutely.
the great work we're doing with a lot of these working families that really just need a hand up, and that's what we call affordable housing. It's not a handout, but a hand up.
There you
And
go.
I call it capitalism with a heart. So it's
There you go.
a
Very
good thing.
good. Keep up the good work and enjoy the rest of your day, Javier.
Oh, thank you, sir. Likewise.
For those that have tuned in, if you have an inspirational human story you want to relate, or any topic that is relevant to our platform, please reach out to me at yourlotandparcel.com. And now, if you would excuse me.
This program has been produced by Isaac Diaz with music by Echo Foxtone. All the opinions expressed in this podcast are opinions only and should not be relied on. For more information, please visit the website yourlotandparcel.com.